Okay, so I have this last section, and then I've got a couple things to revisit, but I have just put these two pieces together. This is a piece of that napkin that I put onto the dictionary page, and then just a little piece of, yeah, that stuff. Lace with the satin trim. Okay, and I'm going to use some Fabri-Tac on this because the majority of it is fabric that I'm trying to put down, and I just don't know that I'd like the score tape better than this stuff. So this Fabri-Tac is good on paper embellishments, or you know, for glue paper on paper as well. I just tend to use something a little less expensive if it's just paper on paper. Okay, so there's that. And then I have a little butterfly. And I think I'm just going to stick him down with regular glue. Now this is cut from that same napkin that was on the dictionary page. Get this down where it's going to come out. I tell you, the pin's in there, but you still got to pop it in there and work it a little bit to get the glue out. There we go. Alrighty. Just going to put it right there. There we go. Alright, so now we're flipping pages here. Make sure I've got you in. Okay, and then I've got this, and I decided I was going to kind of do some wrapping. I was going to use all of this stuff, and I was going to wrap this. And I think, let's see. I'm going to do my edges first. Get the front done. There. And there. There we go. Oops. Oops. Just laying this right up to the fold. This is double folded bias tape. So I'm just putting it on the first folded, up to the first folded edge, and then I'm just going to fold it over. There we go. Kind of get it even a little bit there, make sure it's all glued down. Flip this side. Sorry, I bumped the camera. There we go. And I didn't get that first part. It's 2 layers, and I didn't get the first part pushed up into the second layer of material, so it's not holding it at the crease line. So I'm just making sure that I'm getting that pushed up into that second layer. There we go. Now it's catching it. There we go. Okay, so now we're going to cut that off. Okay, and we're going to put this side down. Let's see, I'm going to put, no, I like this way. Make sure I've got enough glue on the material as well. Let's see here. I'd like it to come down because there's that little bit of beige line. I want it to cover that beige line. And so, not really worried how little is going to come over the back side, because it's not going to show. Okay, so now I'm going to put a little bit of glue on the cardboard on the back side and on the edges with the tape already on it, and then I'm just going to flip it over and hold it down for a second. And if we need to use some assistance in holding down, I do not have a problem doing that. Yeah, sometimes when you don't bend as much over, it's really hard for it to stay until that glue really grabs hold, starts getting tacky. There we go. Okay. Not exactly the straightest in the world, but I still got some working room. There we go. Okay. Get this little edge glued down here. And cut off the leftovers. Okay. And then the other piece, get all this off of here. The other piece we're going to do is this pink on the back side. There we go. Just try and lay this on there nice and straight. Now, some of this pink ribbon has got some, like, you know, it's got some old tape on it. Well, we're not using that section. It's got a staple mark on it there. We're not using that section. So just being real particular. And there we go. Make sure that's all stuck down. And then just put some on the back side here. There we go. And it's still kind of damp, so I'm making sure I'm not pulling it hard. Just lightly giving a little pulls and pushes. I don't want to pull it off of its pretty straight line in the front here. Okay, there we go. There's that. This way. And that. All right. It's a little different. Wrapped a little piece of cardboard in some, and I'm just making it a little tuck spot is all. Now I don't know if I want to do it here or if I want it down here in the corner and glue this and glue this. I think that's what I'll do. And I'm going to use my Fabri-Tac because it's basically gluing material down onto paper. And there we go. There we are. Good. We got that one done. Flipping over, nothing there, nothing there. Okay, then I'm going to do one of these pockets. Get this out. I'm going to get right here. So that was 3/8. I just kind of chose to the end of where the pattern was, and I just found that groove and took it up. And we're going to get a little trim off both sides there. Fold towards the bump. Okay, let's see where I'm at now with this. Okay, we're going to have to do it right about there so that we okay, and it's not fitting in between a groove, so I'm just going to move it where it is in between, and there we go. I know where to cut. I'm going to fold this. And I'm going to cut this here and that, and then just give it a little snip. So there, it looks somewhat finished with very few loose ends. I was always afraid to cut those, but I just, you know, just cut it where it makes the most sense, even if it hangs over a little bit. Try not to leave, you know, like I would not have cut this piece off just to make a straight line, because this looks way more finished. Okay, so just use your best thoughts on where you're going to cut something at. And this edge right here, I'm going to oh, excuse me, I am going to glue down onto the page so that there won't be the flapping, just on the very edge. So that'll take care of, you know, both right here on the edge and right here on the edge. I will put a little bit of glue. Okay, I think I went over that once before with you on one of those. Alright, now I have to use this. And last time I screwed it up, but I do remember what I've done now. I believe it's this one. No. it's this one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this where I want it to start. Excuse me. And let's see, I want this. I want this. So I'm going to put it on the edge here, and where I want it to start here, because I've kind of picked the flowers that I'm interested in having. And I'm going to slip this back into place. Okay, so there it is. And now I'm going to take my pencil and I'm going to kind of run it right there. Now I should have it where it needs to be to lay properly. Come on. Now let's see. There's that. And there we go. Okay. Now I'm going to make, see, I'm going to pull this down here. And I want this to get cut right there. And then I'm going to put this here where it's going to be. And that's going to get cut right there. Okay. Cut her out. And I'm just going to cut on my marks that I made. I can't get it really any higher, so you can't honestly see what I'm doing for the most part, but just cutting it out. There we go. Okay. And so now you've seen me do it the correct way. So there is that. So now you see how you can use your die cut to get the proper edge. Let's put this off to the side. Back over there. My bits and pieces. Okay, so I'm going to glue this on. Okay. You don't have much time with this glue. That is for sure. For sure. Okay. Alright. We're going to glue this here, go across down here so our stuff doesn't fall out of our pocket. This, a little bit on the edge there, just to help the pocket to hang. Now this is a
not super strong piece of paper that I'm gluing this pocket to. But yet I needed it to be for the things that I wanted to do on it. So I will show you. Oh, excuse me. The weather has been so crazy. Everybody's having allergy issues. And I am one of them. So I do apologize for the coughing and sniffling. Okay. So now what I did with this piece here, because I'm going to put a pocket on the inside, is I took my Mod Podge and I just did the whole inside of this piece of paper. And it really thickened it up, because this was basically a piece of copy paper. Maybe a smidge thicker, but not much. And I put a nice good coating of Mod Podge on this side. Now, they will not be able to write on this side. You still will be able to write on this side, because I didn't put it on this side. I just put it on this side, okay? Because what I'm doing here is I'm putting this stuff down. Now I've pulled the wire. This is a wired ribbon, and I've pulled the wire out of this side. Now I'm going to pull it on this side. And it's as easy as, if it's not sticking out, you just push it until it does, and you pull and get it out. And these are what I use when I need to thread something through or something. So I save, most of the time I save that wire. Okay, so now I'm going to glue this down, and I think on this back side here I'm going to wrap a flap around, but on this side I don't think I'm going to. So part of it will be cut off, but a main thing is that I get the butterflies as centered as I can without wasting too much. I want to be able to get this, pretty much this whole leaf flipped over. So I think this is going to be good. So I'm going to first kind of move this out of the way so I don't get glue on anything. Alright, flipping it around so I can put this straight across the bottom. This is the bottom, see, it's, and I'm going to put this, I want this here, I'm going to put this right there at the bottom of the page. Let me make sure, I got a little bit of wiggle room with this stuff, so I want to make sure that I've got it where it needs to be. Flip it over, make sure it's not hanging over too much. This area right there. And I think that that's good. There we go. And you also have to remember that when you sew this in, this will get sewed in, and there will be at least 2 points of entry through this ribbon. So that will also help. But I still take, and on either side of the score mark, and just a little bit, just to kind of help it, just in a couple of spots. There. And that just holds it down. But you don't want to put too much that when you smush it, that it's going to get into your score mark. You just don't want that kind of thickness there. Okay, so this side, let's see, can I fold this in on itself?
although that's going to make it way too bulky. So I'm just going to cut this side off, but I want to make sure that I have enough glue down that I'm going to kind of make the ends not unravel. And I want to make sure I get it all the way up to the top. Okay, so kind of make sure that that flattens out and gets all the way to the edge, so that when you cut it, now I don't have to cut it right to the edge. I can leave some of it hanging off, which would be interesting. So like, I can leave that leaf. And if you don't like it, then cut it all the way off. Got some glue. So I'm going to let it dry completely, and then I'll see what I think about that. But there's that one, and then we're just going to put this side down. Now this side I'm not as worried about because I'm going to fold it over. But I do want to get it all the way up to the top. Kind of pull it over a little bit, not stretch it. Just make sure you've got it pulled over so that you're actually going to get a nice laying down pocket. And then we're going to flip this over, and we're just going to, and I don't care if I have some loose threads or anything, because that just, to me, adds to the coolness. And there we go. Just pull it snug, but not where you're going to be bending the paper. There you go. And if these bother you, you can just snip them off. Alright, so there's that pocket. I'm going to put this back here. Okay, then the next thing I've got is this sheet, and I'm going to pull it out and move it, and I'm going to get my Martha Stewart, the floral vine that I've been using most of this when I'm doing this. When I'm using a punch, this is the one I've been using. If you have problems using punches, making them turn out correctly, I do have a video on how to work the punches. So if I think about it, I'll link it in the description box so you can see that one if you are so interested. There we go. And then I'm just going to cut straight down this little notch that's left. This is another way of doing using a punch and not doing another punch and just having something, little piece of nothing on the ends. Okay, let me clean up the mess here. I don't know if I'll use that or not. I'll save it. Okay. Now, I've got these two pieces, and I want to fold this back on itself so that there's a little bit of this metallic showing through the floral, so that it brings some of the metallic onto another page. Let me move this. So I am going to line this up first where I want it. And let me put the lid on the Fabri-Tac, get this little puppy out, and let's see, I'm folding it back. Yes. So let's see, I'm going to put some glue all around the outskirts of the flower. And around the ends over here. And I'm going to lay this down, face down, where I'm missing most of the holes, and it's nice and straight on the paper. There we go. And then I'm just going to take this and fold it back. If I have a little piece hanging off, I'm just going to cut it. So there I have a little bit of shininess of a metallic that's going to play nicely with this. So I thought that was kind of important to bring that into, since I didn't really have this anywhere else, and I will bring this into something else as well. So now I'm going to glue the rest of this down, and then once it's dry I will cut the let's see, this is still, there we go, kind of put a little bit of glue there. There we go. And this again is really light paper, this white paper. This is that, it's a no bleed, but it was that flip book that I cut a bunch of the pages out. And I have had a lot of fun playing with it. It is thin paper, but it's not really any thinner than a copy paper is. But there's still going to be, you're still going to be able to write little notes and stuff on there. So let's do the same thing on this side. I'm going to put, again, the glue right around the edge here, close to the flowers. Okay, I'll lay this down. There we go. Fold it over. And I see I've got some glue kind of showing it's where I put it on this one. So see if I can push that out of there a little bit. There, I think it'll dry nice and flat there. Okay, and then I'm going to glue this down. It's a little bit of looseness, but it doesn't really matter because we're gluing this down. And this, I don't know what it looks like. I know what, when other people are putting this glue on, you are getting this really tiny bit of glue coming through. Okay, now this is crooked, so let me pull this back up real quick. You're getting this little tiny piece of glue coming through. And I know when I'm watching other people, I'm like, wow, they're using a lot of that glue. But I think it's the same. I think you just see, there we go. You just see that it's this
big bunch of glue, but it really isn't. Okay, so there we go. There is that. Make sure I don't have any wet glue here. Alright, so the next page, so there you can see that sitting there. Brings some shininess. I like it. Okay, and then here, I've got this piece. It's the envelope, and you're just going to put the little card on the envelope. And I'm going to just use the glue side of the envelope, putting it that way, and I'm just going to glue that down onto the paper. There we go. There we go, right there. Okay, and then this, gonna do a little finagling on this sucker. Pull this up. And my cutter. Where's my cutter? Right here. Okay. So I'm going to cut right around the edge of the lens. So there we go. Now that's not super big, so let's do it a little bit more. Let me get into the groove and go around the corner here. Make it a little larger. Okay, get in the groove on this side. And go around the corner a little bit. There. Okay. And now what I'm going to do is just to keep it from ripping, oops, I'm going to go right to the edge and put some tape there. Not over the edge really, just to the edge. Okay. And then, just in case you can see, let me just round these ends a little bit, make it easier. I just wanted to make this like a little internal pocket, just in case you can see the inside. You're not going to see anything but black. So when you lift that up, you're not going to see anything but black on there. I'm just going to, right on the outside, put that right there. About as far down as you can go without getting the black onto the outside. Okay, so there we go. Then, let's go ahead and put this back, and pull this back here. I put a few things in that I thought would maybe look good. Got a ticket here. So I can put this ticket in, say this photo, and then maybe this butterfly. I wasn't quite sure what all I'd fit in there. And maybe
maybe not the pink, but maybe the bicycle. There we go. And this is just going to, I think I am going to use my score tape on this one. And this will be a tuck spot. There we go. And we're just going to put this right down here. There we go. And that's cute, and it has the little tucks right there. Love it. And we'll use that for something else. Okay, flipping it over. Flipping it over. There's my metallic goodies. There's that. Okay. And then I wanted to add a little bit of pink to this side, but this isn't all like the right color pink. So I just thought I would do this on the edge and then just use this to leave just a little bit. Bring a little pink, but not a bunch of pink. Okay. So I'm going to go across the top here and down the outside. I'm going to go across the bottom here and down on the outside edge. Okay. So here we go. Get this straight. Sure I'm not sticking my mulberry paper down anywhere. And then I'm going to do the same, clean this tip off, do the same here at the top. And this one we're going to do down both sides. I'm just kind of getting a feel for where I need to stop putting glue. And then I'm going to put the edge down. Okay, get a feel for a straight line, which I am not always very good at. There, and that's really nice to write little tidbits. And then let me go ahead and trim this off. There we go. And then I believe that is the end of that one. And let me just, there were a few things that I revisited, and this piece, I added this to the front and I added this to the back. And I don't think I did a lot of changing or anything. I did add some bling here, but you'll see all of that in the final walkthrough. And there was, I went in and I covered, this was black, in here, and it was just, there's not much black in this at all, and it just didn't go. So I added this little picture from one of the cards that I had. I changed out the tape, washi tape on this. It was the roses. Okay. And where, okay. This one, I think I'm going to come across the bottom here with a piece of this to kind of draw this all together, because this, even though this pink is the same as this pink, I just think it needs to kind of all be brought back together again, and adding a little bit of this, and then this is going to be left open as a pocket, so there'll be little bits of something stuck in there. Okay, so let me see where I'm cutting this. Pull my cutter out. See, I'm at 40. About 40 minutes. You guys are going to kill me. This last one's going to be so long. And then I'm just going to, well, let me just tell you what I'm going to do. So that's going to be that. And then I'm going to run a strip right down here. And that'll pull a little bit of that color over onto this page. And then the other thing, this page, this is kind of got a lot of you know, a lot of brown to it. There wasn't anything here that had that, the little yellows, you know, really wasn't anything that drew this page in other than the two whites. So this is a little bit of a brown, so I've got the brown there. I've got this and that. It came off of this. This is Echo Park, and it's This and That by Lori Whitlock. So I actually cut the this and that out. This is one of the die cuts that I cut out. And I'm going to lay this across the top here, and I'm going to lay this and that right there. So I'm going to do that, and I'm going to have this on this side with a little bit of trim. Okay. I think that's the trim I'm going to use. But anyway, so that'll be that. And then over here, I just didn't like this very well. So in order to kind of break this up, I got a little piece with the lines on it of white. And I probably will use my flower shaper and put a little flower on there. Not sure about that one. I'm going to put some of this as this paper. I'm going to put this strip underneath here like I did with the other ones, but then it's just going to be a tuck spot. So then this color is over here, and it makes sense. So that kind of pulls that all together. So those are the things I'm going to do. So I'm going to go ahead and get these done. And I'm going to make my, get everything done and come back with the final product and just do a walkthrough for you. Okay, guys? Sorry this has taken me so long. Appreciate you hanging with me, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye!